You're ruining my intro, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to O Menos Mexicanos. It's been a while since we've done this show. Hi, everybody. I'm Sammy Gonzalez, a.k.a. the Mexlets. Oh, I'm back. I feel like I've been gone a while. I think it's because Tommy's was like 8 hours, but it's all right. We made it through, everybody. That's true. The last two shows have been a cumulative, I think, work day. So, welcome everybody to O Menos Mexicanos, the Mexican culture podcast. There's only one in the world. If there's any other ones, don't listen to them. This is where you get your stuff. Welcome to O Menos Mexicanos. We're doing a show about mental health. We fucked up the intro, so if you're hearing this part, this is where we're starting organically. There's okay. Marcos, there's JJ, and if I'm somehow able to fix the previous audio, you've heard all that. But let me ask that once more, Marcos, to start this podcast. We're bringing up mental health because you recommended it. Is this a part of your grandfather of ideas for this show that we eventually get to just different branches and pieces of just general topics about Mexican culture?
Well, we're still because we're still in like the introductory phase. Like this show hasn't been on a year. We get to do general topics like this, and I mean, to be a little bit negative, I kind of see the show as Mexicans are bad at blank or Mexicans love blank. So like we've done a music episode, we've done this, but I feel like the next couple episodes are going to be Mexicans are bad at blank and we are bad at mental health and like acknowledging that it exists and things.
Oh, that's new. That's a new development. Yeah. Which I actually, so I pivoted the first question. So we're trying things out with this topic, with this podcast. So if you have any recommendations of how we present it, let us know in the comments and comments of, as I mentioned before, I'll probably just cut this part in, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. What is good mental health? Because that's the question I have to start, because we have an idea now of what mental health is. Mm-hmm. Now that we have a good base, because the follow-up questions are eventually going to be, what did you do to have good mental health? Or what you thought was good mental health, and what do you do to have it proper now? So the idea for you is, what is good mental health for you? What does that even mean? So like, me, I'll start. Good mental health is not being full of rage, and I bring that up immediately.
Anger management issues over here.
It might be, because I'll put it this way: good mental health for me, what I've discovered is that in relation to my Mexican heritage, anger is how feelings manifest. I've just discovered that. I go to therapy. I tell people all the time, and I always recommend people who can afford it or have access to it, please go to therapy. Everybody needs it. All of my emotions, I'm a very emotional guy. You guys know this.
Yeah.
It all manifests from anger. I discovered like 2 weeks ago. Like, this is the work. I've been going to therapy for like 2 years, maybe 3, maybe longer. And it all comes from anger. And I go, well, what the hell? Am I just the angry Mexican? And I realize, oh shit, I might be, or I might be afraid to be, and hold it in. And actually, this loops into something I just recently heard. For those of you who are listening in the near and distant future, Chris Rock just got smacked the shit out of by Will Smith on the Oscars, right? He actually did an interview a couple of years ago in the aftermath, and people were releasing it, where he talked about he was like bullied a lot and he was picked on. Yeah. And he never really did anything back until.
I feel like every comic was, except for not Richard Pryor, the white guy.
Carlin?
Carlin. Yeah. I don't feel Carlin was picked on.
He doesn't seem like the guy that could have got picked on.
No.
He seems too angry. I think that anger was always with him the whole time. But no, he lashed out once. And I'm mixing up the story a little bit, but he felt so awful about it, or he got reprimanded in a way that was bad.
No, he nearly killed the kid.
Oh, was that what it was? Oh,
he didn't stop.
It was a Ralphie.
Yeah,
the Christmas story, except no little brother.
The mom didn't show up.
Right, and so he felt so much guilt from that he just never wanted to express his anger ever again. He just kind of just put it in his soul. And I feel recently like that's what I have been doing, and we'll talk about how
Who did you assault? Was it a homeless man?
Oh, I never assaulted anybody. No, because at a certain point, well, I've always been soft. I've always been a soft, gentle type of guy. That's just my heart. My dad will tell you, my mom will tell you, ever since I've grown up, I was always like a nice kid. But
you need an Urban Meyer to kick you.
No, I'm not going to Urban Meyer. No, but I got picked on. I didn't get bullied. Uh-huh. I was the youngest of 4 siblings, X amount of cousins, I was the youngest. So I got my share of ribbing, and I took it personally for a very long time. So I always had self-confidence issues, and those would end up manifesting as anger. I couldn't be angry at my elders because I'd get in trouble. And then, so I internalized it. And then that turned into anger, and that turned into chip on my shoulder, and it turned into a lot of different things. And then I got bigger than everybody. I'm bigger than all my relatives. I'm bigger than all my cousins. And if I were to have enacted that anger, and at times I did, like 6th grade, 7th grade, there's one example. There was a kid who was messing with me, but he was like a punk, a little skinny kid. He was doing it to be cool. He wasn't one of the real bullies. But I remember grabbing him, and I fucking spun him around like Donkey Kong, and then just threw him. Like he slid across the ground, and he was crying, and he ran away, and I felt awful. I'm probably revealing some shit that I would reveal in therapy right now, but I felt awful. And I went to the bathroom, he was crying, he was cleaning himself up, and I apologized, and I felt awful. But everyone thought I was so cool because I threw this fucking kid, and everyone thought I was nice, and I beat him up. And so I don't want to be that guy. And so then it just internalizes, and then it creates craziness in my head. So good mental health, I've discovered for me, is the absence of that anger, absence of that anxiety of just the world that I've discovered in COVID times, and quiet in my head. I have a million thoughts a minute usually. And and so those things tend to just be like, hey, life is great, but what if it wasn't? And then it just lingers on that, and then I have my infinite things there. So that's where I keep it. Now for you, man, we don't bring it up a lot, but I'm curious myself because you're fucking mellow as shit, but you are also former military. So, oh, whoops. Not these guys, not the apparently kid. No, but you're former military. And so I've told you this, I've said it on air, maybe not around you, but I usually am not friends with military people. Former military freak me out in ways.
I don't know if you've been around enough of them.
I've been around a couple. I've worked with a couple. I've been around a lot.
I mean, Corey's former military.
He's our friend Corey at Double Toasted. He was service. What is it called?
National Guard.
National Guard. Yeah. He mopped floors and was never deployed to my understanding. So.
I mean, I was in the big army. I still mop floors. It's forever.
The big army, is that what you call it?
I mean, if you want to look down at the National Guard, then I was in the big leagues, whatever, and I still mop floors.
I'm not looking down at the National Guard. I'm just saying he never he went to basic.
You know that rumor about the Navy? They also swab the poop deck all the time.
Hey, we don't talk about the Navy. My grandfather was Navy, but my thing is,
I guarantee he mopped.
The only evidence that my grandfather was in the Navy is one, his Navy picture, and two, one of him boxing around a bunch of dudes like Street Fighter. That's literally the only evidence that he has of being in the Navy.
Did you ever see your grandpa mop?
I've never seen my grandfather. He died before I was around. And no, he never mopped.
In a tragic mopping
that's
accident?
probably because he mopped too much in the Navy and was like, never again. No mops in this house, only Swiffers.
No, it's because he drank too much booze. We know the answer to that one. But no, they make me some of them make me skittish because it's like, man, you've seen some things I can't even fathom. It's a miracle that you come out kind of okay, let alone good. And so for you, we'll get to the before and the after even, and that might be a good way to even separate it if that's the case. Like, what do you think is good mental health? Like when you're in your zone, what does that feel like? What is that to you?
I don't believe in a zone kind of thing because, I mean, when you say zone, I think of creative zone.
Right.
Like when you're sitting in front of your computer and the words are just coming out. Or maybe the gym zone where it's like you're so hyper-focused, nothing around you matters.
Because it's even harder to define. Because that's what mentally healthy means. I have access to do that, the capacity to do those things, right? The things I mentioned, right? Like having the clarity of mind and stuff like that. So what does it define by you? So is it like when you're creative or when you're in the zone?
Well, that's the thing at least for me when it comes to things like that, it's not about being in the zone. It's about doing habitually. Like you got to do it even when it sucks. Like even when you're tired, like even when you didn't sleep, like you still put in a little bit of effort, and you're because at the end of the day, if you look at a year in a row, you have more days where it's like you can make an excuse not to go to the gym, not to be creative, not to do this podcast, you can make excuses, right. Or you can just do the work because this is kind of what makes you feel alive, for lack of a better word.
So the ability to do the work is good mental health.
Well, I was answering the zone.
Oh,
for me, good mental health is just being adjusted. Like you wake up every day, you take stock of what it is, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to go forward. That's all it is.
So, so when you're having a bad mental health day, it's just inability to get that piece down, or
well, I crash is what it is. Like when I have bad mental health days, I just lay in bed all day and crash.
Same.
But for the most part, what I try to do is that I know it's going to suck, but it's going to be over at some point. Like whatever it is, I don't call in sick to work that often. I don't take many days off of the gym. I don't like taking days off of this podcast if we're trying to do it twice a week. Like
I try to make you fuckers take a day off when I was gone. You're like, no, we're doing a podcast.
Well, yeah, you got to be consistent. Consistent effort makes results, and it's still like...
Right, but I was trying to give you guys a break.
Yeah, but you were also trying to give us a break at a time where life is a break. It was like December. Work was like one phone call.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. But yeah, no. So that's your swing. It's either you're doing the stuff or you just absolutely don't. Like
well, I mean, good mental health in general would be learning your gauge. Everyone has an energy gauge.
For people who don't know, Marcos thinks of life as kind of like video game stats.
I mean, it helps it make a lot of sense when you try to explain it to people.
It kind of helps me too when I realize like an energy meter's low or I don't have any mana to do something special.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that makes sense. Like I have the ability to move. My HP is high.
Yeah.
But I don't have my combo ready, right? I don't have any combos lined up.
Well, like another way to see it is that like you have so much energy in a day.
Right.
And so when you want to make life changes, like let's say I want to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Some people exhaust their energy meter by doing too much too fast. Like I'm going to hardcore diet and I'm going to hardcore hit the gym. And within a week, they stop because they've exhausted their energy meter. I'm not even calling you out.
We're not reading my diary on air. No, I'm just saying it's valid. That's very common for a lot of people.
Yeah, what you should do is gauge your energy meter in a sense. It's like you can raise your energy. Like it's a matter of like having healthy habits of like sleeping, being well adjusted and things like that. But outside of that, it's you make those changes little. You got to level up a little bit at a time. Right. You can't just go into the deep end all the time.
You can't just one up mushroom it. You gotta level up. And
life has no one up mushrooms. I'm sorry.
Oh damn it! I gave away my Mario coin. I had a Mario coin around here.
Oh, is Ray here?
No. No.
He can be a Mexican right there. Ray.
What's?
You said Ray had a Mario coin.
No, I said I had a Mario coin.
Oh, I thought you said Ray had.
No, I 3D printed a Mario coin and I gave it to my. I spray painted it gold because I have gold spray paint, as you can tell by my Oscar and my other 3D printer things.
Wait, that's not real?
Sam won an Oscar for writing Encanto.
Bro, but weird sidebar, the radio is playing We Don't Talk About Bruno. Like a radio station played it. That baffles me. Like the last Disney song.
Glad the radio's broken in my car.
I went to go get McDonald's and it was like playing We Don't Talk About Bruno. I go, what? And I turned it up. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch? They're playing the whole thing, right? Last time I could even remember that. Did they maybe let it go? Maybe.
No.
Not even that, but it was Beauty and the Beast. That was the one that they played.
I think, and this is going to be a weird exception to make you wrong, Christmas songs make it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but that's, like you said, weird except there's only 14 Christmas songs.
No, but I mean, like, I'm 90% sure I've heard, like, Nightmare Before Christmas on the radio.
But there's only, like, 14 Christmas songs. That's like, no, like, try to name more than 14 Christmas songs. You're just doubling up and you're on covers at that point.
I could do it, but I don't want to. That's 14 is a big number.
14 is enough to where, oh man, there's a whole month of fucking Christmas.
I mean,
I've already recycled those 14 songs.
There's more Christmas songs than there is any other holiday.
Which is why the other ones don't have songs.
I don't know. I like New Year's songs.
What are New Year's songs? Waiting for Tonight by J-Lo?
What?
Waiting for Tonight.
What does that have?
Good New Year's song.
I don't think that's a New Year's song. That's a getting laid song.
It's for you, maybe. I use it for New Year's, all right?
I'm pretty sure it's for J-Lo, too.
1999 for Prince, which I thought was made in 1998.
I didn't think that was
child.
I didn't think that was a New Year's song. I thought that was the 80s are weird and terrible. So we should dance.
What songs are you referencing then?
Well,
we're sidebarring, by the way. This has nothing to do with it.
Lawrence Arms, 100 Resolutions, Pale Waves, New Year by the Postal Service.
Nobody listens to metal. It's fine.
None of those are metal.
They're some sort of rock that nobody listens to.
One of them was pop.
Rock is dead.
One of them was pop.
Who was pop?
Pale Waves.
Nobody's heard of Pale Waves.
I mean,
what does Pale Waves have on Spotify?
A lot, actually, because she dates the dude from 1975.
Nobody listens to 1975.
Yes, they do.
Pale Waves.
Let me say chocolate in song, and then you'll be like...
They have less than 1 million monthly listeners. That's barely pop.
I mean, it's pop. Their genre is pop. You don't have to make popular music to be pop.
I disagree. JJ, here's the thing. I don't know shit about you generally. You're a fucking mystery half the time, every time I talk to you. I assume that you know something about most things, but I don't know really much even about you personally, other than like your family and stuff. And even then, it's because they tell me, once I meet your family, they then tell me and relay stories about you in your parameter. So like, you see this, everybody? It doesn't get much more excited than this, other than when we're drunk and you slapped me at the Super Bowl party, which people reminded me of, and I forgot that happened. Because that was pre-COVID.
We were talking about friends slapping each other.
Right, but it was pre-COVID.
Very apropos.
But it was pre-COVID, and I forgot everything that happened pre-COVID. I was like, oh yeah, that was the Super Bowl before.
I slapped him pretty hard.
That was 3 weeks before COVID.
That was 3 weeks before COVID. I got slapped at the Super Bowl because I was being a sourpuss for, against the Chiefs and the Niners, being a Raider fan. But that was the most energy I've ever seen you exude, was just a slap of shut the fuck up. And I was like, fair. But other than that, it's pretty much this all the time. So for you, what is good mental health? And like I said, we could talk about the fluctuation and the flow that you don't really ever let us see, generally. But like, what is good mental health to you?
Mm-hmm. Calm, peaceful, serene.
Like, how do you get there though? Because I don't have that. I don't even know what that feels like, really, generally speaking.
I just play.
Play what?
It's from Good Will Hunting. You know, guy looks at a piano, he sees chopsticks. But someone like Bach looks at it, he just plays. Like, I can't explain it. Just am.
Can I take some of your blood to have some? I don't know. I guess, have you always had that? Where most of the things just kind of roll off your back? Or is it something that you had to learn for any experience? I'm genuinely like curious, because he is like this all the time, folks. This is not an act. This is not a show. He's mellow all the fucking time. It's really hard to even try to bother to get under his skin, even as a joke. Where does it come from?
The dude abides.
So you're saying that you're transcendental in terms of like a movie transcendental character that is able to transcend space and time to just be fucking mellow and cool.
Yes.
Or do you not want to reveal any of your deep, deep, dark secrets?
I mean, there's not really any deep, dark secrets. Like, I guess I did learn it because going back sort of to like the bullying thing, I remember when I was a little kid, really little. This is like maybe I was 4. One of my cousins, one of like my female cousins, and her brother were like staying over at our grandma's house, and all the adults were gone. So it was just her. She was the oldest, and me and her brother are the same age. Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to play with Danny.
Yeah,
I didn't want to play with Lisa.
Right,
screw her,
because girls
she
suck.
likes Barbies.
Yeah, girls are wet.
But I don't know what the hell she wanted me to do or why she was mad at me, but she was like keeping me in a room.
Right. Okay.
Like,
yeah. You were banished.
She was there, but like she was just keeping me in the room. I got mad, so I decked her.
Oh shit!
And I went out and I
like
played with
in
Danny.
The face,
in the eye. I gave her a black eye. I'm pretty.
Oh my god! And how old are you again?
4.
Fucking A, dude. So that's there. That is ever present. That's somewhere in there. Why are you looking at me like that?
Hit him in the eye.
I felt like that was the next logical step. I was like, you made me say that in public.
No, yeah, but so yeah, I did get mad, and then I just played with Danny, and then yeah, there were repercussions.
Which were?
I don't remember.
The belt?
Belt.
I'm 90% sure it was the belt.
That doesn't work on me.
What?
So there was
Not even the fear of the belt?
Nah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my
just take
sister
the
was
ass
like that.
I was the youngest, so I had the fear. I had 3 examples of the belt being the demon monster. I got to maybe use once on me in memory.
I learned that my pain tolerance outlasts my dad's endurance.
My sister used to laugh.
Like it's like a fucking like a gladiator. You've been weighed. You have been measured.
Yeah.
You've been found wanting.
I think my dad wanted me to clean my room, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. So he's like, I'm going to hit you with the belt if you don't do it. Do it.
I'll pay my
cleaning
toll.
Yeah, I'm not cleaning the room. Because I thought, like, well, I'll take the ass whooping, then I won't clean my room, and I'll go to sleep. Like, either way, the room's not getting cleaned.
Why didn't you just clean your fucking room?
'Cause I didn't feel like it.
I didn't feel like it, Dad.
No, I'm mad on behalf of your dad. It's like, clean your room, mijo. I just want you to have a clean room.
I mean-
Company's coming.
I do think that it's really hilarious on that JJ note. I didn't do this, but my sister did. She was unpunishable.
Really? Like, she just was like, anything you can dish to me is...
Yeah, like, so when it came to hitting her, like, she would laugh.
Right. Your sister's like only barely shorter than you. Like she is not a small person.
Like one time they grabbed her for the back of the head for saying curse words, and they started washing her mouth out with soap. She started eating the soap.
Oh my god! Like taking bites out of it.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, I mean, I guess I had my bad streak too, because I would say shut up as a kid, like 3 years old, and they were like. The hot sauce. They wouldn't do so. They did hot sauce, and I liked it. And I was like, "That's good." And they were like, we don't know what to do with you.
I got another example. That's not the end of it.
Okay. Well, I'm not.
Actually, I got 2 more examples.
Well, that's my example because eating hot sauce is on the capacity of what a kid should do. Eating soap is a next level.
When she got grounded, she'd be like, "Cool, I didn't want to go out anyway."
Oh. With me, that would have been factual.
No, that's true.
And then, last but not least, if you don't do X, we're gonna take away your Game Boy. She would break it and be like, "Okay."
She would break her. Bro, if I would have broke the Game Boy that I had.
What punishment are you gonna do?
I would have actually been beaten. Like, they spanked me. I got spanked a little bit, and barely, if at all. I would have got beaten with something. That is outright. I would probably, and I'm not gonna say it out loud. I'll jokingly say I would beat my kid if they broke up like a Nintendo Switch that I got him, even if it was the 2000s and it's 10 years from now.
I know inflation makes it weird, but I feel like a PS5 is way more expensive than a Game Boy, or a Switch is more expensive than a Game Boy.
No, but still, man, it's the principle. It's a fucking game system. You're supposed
Switches
to
are
take
hard
care
to
of those
break.
things.
What? Oh, they are?
Yeah, so Nintendo actually drop tests all their shit.
Really?
Yeah, they drop test it to 3 feet or 4 feet because that's the average height of a child. So yeah, they'll just drop it like a million times and like this one survived. We're selling this one.
Okay. Well, no. And by the way, gamer introvert power. Damn, JJ's just immune and a rebel to the belt. Right. Like that's a fucking superpower. Like immunity to the belt.
Yeah, no, my dad. I mean, I couldn't sit down for a week, but my.
Wait, that's then the punishment worked somewhat. I mean, it wasn't a deterral, but it was a
I
punishment.
still didn't clean my room.
Sure. Like I said, it was a punishment, not a deterral. It never deterred you from not cleaning your room, but but you felt it.
It was.
You're not just in an empty shell in there, JJ.
The way it was presented to me was clean your room or I'll spank you. The price was one or the other, so I chose the other. There was no punishment in my eyes.
It was
like,
the tax.
all right, if you're going to hit me, then do it.
It was the toll, right?
Because I'm not picking this shit up.
Right. Well, so I guess that's the thing because JJ, I mean, this question I might even just be not even applicable to you because it's like if you've always been this way, like.
Well, no, I think probably after I decked my cousin, something changed. Because I remember my grandma talked to me. I don't remember what she said.
Right.
But I remember I had like a serious talk with my grandma.
One of those spooky wisdoms where they're like, your grandma got abnormally serious type of thing.
She wasn't even mad. Like she didn't yell at me or anything.
I'm just saying serious. No, like.
No, it wasn't like she talked to me like the way she normally does. I don't remember anything like abnormal about this conversation with my grandma. but I do remember that she talked to me. And I don't know, like, why it lingers in my brain. Like I said, I can't even remember what she told me.
She locked a fucking demon in your head. Dude. she cast a spell, and she like you were.
She put that Naruto shit on me.
Right. You probably were fucking like a demon child, and then your grandma put a spell on you, and then just locked that shit away.
No, well, my grandma always like took care of me when I was very young. Because both my parents had to work when I was born.
Right.
Same.
Yeah, so it was my grandma and my grandpa that watched out for me. Like, that's why I like Spider-Man a lot, because like he had elderly parental figures, Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was me. I was like, yeah, I had Aunt May and Uncle Ben. They were, well, I call my grandma Mama because I would always hear my dad.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it would be Abuela Maria and Abuelo Jose. Like,
right.
They were my parents. And so, yeah, like, my dad was mad, and my mom was mad, and was like, don't fucking do that.
Right.
But, like, what sticks out in my head was my grandma talking to me. And not, like I said, it wasn't stern or even, like, a forceful or angry.
What do you think it did, though?
I think it just made me conscious of what I did. Like, when I did it,
The before times.
When I decked her, like when I punched her.
When I decked her.
When I punched her, I wasn't thinking ahead of time, right? Like I was thinking like
just impulsive.
Yeah, it was just like, I'm mad, and you're not letting me do what I want to do, and you're not an adult.
so violent is the answer.
Look, I didn't have many options.
Look, man, I'm just saying you talk a lot of shit about Arthur and DW when you were Arthur yourself. That was a valid.
But DW deserved it.
Yeah.
And she also locked you in a room.
And two, I was younger.
That's fair. That's like DW punching
I was
Arthur.
DW.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just after that talk with my grandma, I saw beyond me and beyond like my impulses and beyond like, sometimes you're just not gonna be able to do what you want to do.
Right.
Like whatever it is. Sometimes I grew up fast, I guess.
That's a weird lesson to take from that, right? I punch my the babysitter essentially, and then that reveals like life's not fair. You don't get what you want, but like in a way that a kid couldn't understand. But then you kind of took the raw message and then applied it in tears the rest of your life.
Yeah, I guess
that makes sense to me, because it's like when you have those type of tempered expectations about what you can and cannot do, then there's not much fluctuation in terms of what your mind goes to, because you've always been like, I got it, or yeah, I'll do it, or yeah, whatever. That's always been like, you're kind of right down the middle, right? You're like, yeah, or yeah, no. And that's what a lot of people kind of aspire to have, honestly, like good mental health. Like people like who are like me, that teeter-totter between emotions, just like fucking back and forth, kind of would like a little bit of that, where things just kind of are mellowed out. So it sounds like a lot of the high stakes kind of got put away somehow, or got like at least compartmentalized. Is that right? Maybe. I'm trying to figure out. This is not even a show about you anymore. I'm just trying to figure you out, JJ. No, but
I thought it was a show about us, but that's fun.
Well, I'm just kidding. I was gonna pass it to you because I can't. Because like I said, Jay just figured it all out apparently. But like, how did you deal with like your mental health? So like, when you didn't have the things that you do now, because did you always go to the gym? Like, were you always a gym rat?
Yeah, I've been going to the gym since I was 12.
Jesus Christ, that's a long time.
Can't confirm.
But so like, was that like, what did you do like beyond that though, before like finding out what that base balance was?
I mean, it wasn't like, the gym is the only time now where I get to do something physical. Like, that's just like the reality of it. And I used to always be a super, like, from baby to 28,
right,
I was always super physical.
Right.
Like, I was, everything was like, I was a ranch hand basically as a child, like just running around helping my grandpa with his goats and chickens.
Right.
Into football,
Did you just unplug now? Nobody can hear you because you unplugged your own mic.
Into.
I don't know. There's a clip on the bottom.
But I didn't press it. I don't know. Have I been not talking this entire time?
No, until it fell out, I'm pretty sure it was good.
And then, I mean, football in Texas in high school was pretty much life. Like, I started.
Confirm.
Yeah, I started.
You didn't play football, or did you? No,
he was in band. He was there. Like,
he was the only other thing. If you weren't in football, you're allowed to do. You're either crowd.
No, I
band, or
mean, we have all our friends didn't do one or the other. We were actually the two odd men out when it came to activities.
Really?
Yeah. Edward didn't do shit. Gabriel didn't do shit. Well, Gabriel was in band, but never marching band. He just snuck in at jazz. But like, yeah. So it was. I would work out every day, and then in the summer I would go to summer camp. Like, it was always a thing.
You went to summer camp? Mm-hmm. Like a sleepaway one, where you just go and
no. Summer camp is code for going to the Eagle Pass High School and then going to the gym for 2 hours.
Oh, gotcha. Fair enough. Yeah, I never had that. I stayed at home.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I did it 1 year.
Yeah, no, I stayed home and ate top ramen with my siblings and watched TV and HBO and stuff.
I would do the one at the mall more.
I remember that one too.
So, but so, like, I guess with like, I'm assuming your mental health is better now, though, right? Than it used to be.
Used to be. I mean,
because you were like a delinquent, self-admittedly, like you were.
Yeah,
doing
but that was never a mental health thing. That was a.
That was a JJ's 4 years old and I want to play outside kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. the punch life in the face theory. I guess you can
pretty
call it.
much like what is. Of all things, this comes from a ska music video, but it's a quote from a famous author that's like, when a child learns his parents are imperfect, he becomes a teenager. Like, it's not exactly that, what's it called? It's not exactly that I had a mental health issues that I was working out through when I was blowing stuff up with fireworks and selling pot. It was just... I thought it was fun. Like, that's not. It's we never did anything malicious to hurt anybody. We just like
caused chaos. We're agents of chaos, right?
Yeah. We one day were like, hey, we want to add new rules to the rule book, because then it's like we made a difference. We made like a weird thing. So we started jumping on bushes, and now there is a rule in the Eagle Pass rule book that's like, don't jump on our bushes, please.
Yeah. Like in the high school?
Yeah.
Also, we invented two-wall wall ball.
Two-wall wall ball.
Yeah, there was this like entryway into the high school. I think it was like where the gym goes.
I figured it out. You were bouncing a ball in a hallway.
I mean, it was concrete walls.
It was outside.
Yeah.
Still, though. Like, yeah, but I mean, the way it's set up is in a hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming...
I mean, there's no roof. So it's not a hall.
It makes sense. That's the only way I could visualize it best. So, like, maybe you guys are just fucking freaks of nature, I guess, or maybe I'm not asking the right questions, because I've discovered in retrospect that I've not been super mentally healthy, and that I had a lot of coping mechanisms that I used in my time.
Well, maybe that's where we should take the conversation. What do you mean by coping mechanisms?
Because, like, being chaotic, I never had that phase, right? I've never allowed myself or was allowed to be chaotic. I know nobody allowed you to, you just were.
Yeah.
I didn't have the freedom to do that, to just go break those rules, because I had expectations of how to act and stuff, because my dad was that guy. My dad was essentially you. My dad fought at Denny's and like beat dudes up in the bathroom. Like, that's the kind of shit.
That's what Denny's are for.
In all my antics, I've not been in a fight at Denny's yet. I say yet because I
haven't lived.
I frequent Denny's.
I mean, we
a lot.
came close that one time.
We did. Haunted Denny's, yeah. So I guess that's what it was that like, you're not going to let your daughter do those types of antics, or you're not going to want her to do those types of antics that you did growing up, potentially. Maybe jump on bushes. That seems pretty harmless, but like, you know.
No, well, at the end of the day, nothing that we did was too harmful, except for things that, and this will get into like a weird thing that we probably don't have time to cover, but because like I said, we never hurt anybody with our antics, because we always kind of chose our targets, I guess. That it was like Like we would blow stuff up, but it would be in a construction site. Like nothing was there.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like, oh, we just blew up the construction site. Insurance covered it. Fuck it.
No, well, we stole from Walmart because we thought like Walmart's not a person, so you can't steal from them.
That sounds like a justification to me, but
I mean, yes, we were justifying it because we were weird anarchists, but still, it didn't hurt
we were
anybody.
Anarchists? You're gonna slip that in? We were anarchists.
We were pretend anarchists.
Okay,
like we were teenage idiots, but we were like, oh yeah, like that was part of it. But like and this is just goes into a weird part where and we're not gonna get it covered in this episode of mental health, but it's like. So many things are bad for your mental health, and you don't realize it until it's in the rearview mirror.
Pretty much.
So when it comes to, I had my mom telling me like just last night. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for the way I raised you," and I'm like, "What? Like I feel fine."
Right.
And she's like, "No, I was just too controlling at times. I didn't listen to you," and I was like.
You got a you got an Encanto level apology from your elder?
Pretty much.
That's pretty great. I've not gotten mine yet.
I mean, she's weird, but whatever.
She took it back the next day.
She got really high. I don't know what that was about,
but and then when it comes to like, did we do anything wrong? It was like we didn't do things wrong in the sense of actually physically hurting each other. Like we did things wrong in the sense of emotionally hurting each other. But it's like
the fun stuff you can't erase.
Well, that's what. I mean, it's just one of those things where you didn't. I don't know. Like you don't realize how crazy being a teenager is until all your hormones are gone or whatever the fuck it is, or being in a crowd of a tribe. Like when you were talking about the whole crowd cheering you on. No, yeah, cheering you on when you Wreck-It Ralph threw the dude.
Which one was that?
When this was the story you just told at the beginning of this podcast.
Oh, I completely forgot. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Oh. Bro, I blocked that out. Like I said, I forgot that shit. Yeah, I didn't even Wreck-It Ralph him. Yeah, I did Wreck-It Ralph him. I tossed his ass. But yeah, it was a weird thing. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That it's like you don't, as the person that threw them, you understand the role that you played. But as the person cheering you on, you don't understand until looking back, like. All the other stuff that it like.
Oh yeah, like you said, there's a lot there that you could go. We could go back on and be like, oh yeah, we fucked that up. That was a good time. Yeah, yeah, because I for the longest time was like, I'm fine. Everything's great. I love my life and everything's good. But there was always, and I had to just go back on it. There was always an undercurrent of anger because I knew I was angry in Fresno, my hometown. It's hot. There's not much to do. I didn't have those antics that you had to express it.
I mean, I'm sure they were there. You were in California.
What do you mean?
I mean, California is where punk rock comes from.
Oh, no, I'm in the Central Valley. Punk rock comes from fun places like the Bay Area.
I mean, there's a movie called SLC Punk about it being in Salt Lake City. I'm sure you could have... How far is Fresno from LA?
4 hours.
We drove 4 hours to watch shows in Austin.
Look, all I'm saying is we're going to LA, and I wasn't ever a punk. The punk people did meth. That's what they did. We're the meth capital.
Are we going under the bridge?
Nation. Huh?
We're going to the punk parties under the bridge?
There was no punk parties under the bridge.
That's where the goth parties.
No,
the goth parties right under the bridge.
No, there's punk parties under the bridge now.
Like locally or where?
Wait, this bridge or?
No, in LA. Like I'll send you the link later.
I'm not gonna go to actually I probably would go to a punk party anyway. But the idea was that like Fresno, literally all those people that ran those circles were literally on drugs. Like it's a bad issue. It's still a bad issue. So I wasn't. My dad was born in Southeast Fresno. My mom did. They knew the dangers of it, so they tried to kept us away from that shit broadly. Because they had 4 kids, they couldn't wrangle us all at once. It was zone defense for them. They just like, don't be bad. And so it was like, all right, we'll figure it out.
They had 4 kids. I thought they had 3.
I'm the 4th.
So you, your brother, your sister,
and another sister.
Oh, I don't forget.
Yeah, I have a sister. It's my oldest sister, my brother, my older sister, me. Okay. And those
it's a sandwich.
Those 2 are the year apart. So they're back to back. My oldest sister I talk about because. Like your grandmother took care of you. My parents took care of me, but like the day-to-day wrangling was my sister. She was 12.
When you have 4 kids, the pack does kind of raise itself.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, the 12-year-old, my oldest sister, was the one that wrangled me and made sure that my clothes didn't get dirty at church. Right.
That's probably the reason you didn't have a wild phase. It wasn't your dad. It was her.
Well, no, but she left, but like I had that like transitive authoritative property where it's like I treated her as authority. And then, like, they were her bosses. And so if I fucked up, I had to deal with her bosses, which were my parents, of course. And so, like, I already listened.
I'm
to
actually really confused how you never acted up. On that note, because it's like the baby is supposed to be the bad one.
That goes with something.
Even Juan
else.
was kind of bad. Well, not bad, but he was like he did more than JJ.
They gave me. It was strange. They gave me more leash, but they still like. It was a group think type of thing. They were all so much older than me, so they all had sense. I had to always have sense. To rebel or to be like weird. The weird, like when you talk about do you always listen to Sam? You've made that comment about if I talk too much or I ramble. They've had that theory my entire life practically. They don't listen to me. So they don't. I'm not. I'm being.
No, I'm
honest.
not. I mean,
they don't. I mean, they listen to me now because I'm an adult and I don't say as much. But I don't say anything really around them anymore because they don't fucking listen. So why waste the breath? But the thing was that we had to operate as a unit. That's why I didn't express myself, my anger, my crazy antics, because we were a unit.
So going back to what I was talking about as a teenager, it's like you don't think you're doing bad until you look back in the rearview mirror. That seems kind of bad that no one listened to you.
It is. I literally talked about it in therapy. Was because I talked so much. There were so many people in the house. How does the youngest get attention? Well, fucking volume, right? Not my loudness, but in terms of the more things you say.
I am so great.
Yeah, pretty much, right? And so, they could have played that differently, but that's them, right? The idea was that the Mexican household, tie it back to that, was essentially we acted as a unit. We all had to go to college. We all had to do the things that we had to do to, I guess, not honor. They never treated it as honor our parents, but it was, I did this so you do this.
Yeah.
Which was, I go to work, I bust my ass. Both my parents went to work. You go get a degree. You don't fucking act up. If you're in jail, don't call me till 10 o'clock the next day. So that was always it, right? And this was still, like, most of the time, no cell phones. I barely had a flip phone during that time. So I could have gone out and had adventures, but a lot of, between Catholic guilt, not being very cool, and then living outside of my school district, like I live further away from my high school than others.
We had all those things. That's how we partied at a ranch, and
I lived in the city. There was no ranches.
I mean, you said away. I don't know. And then every time I see Fresno on my TikTok now because of you, it's like they show like a barren wasteland.
That's not Fresno. That's like Selma and some shit. It was like the in between, right?
I get it, but I've not been. I'm just telling you what TikTok shows me.
Right. No, but you could find the cow towns around Fresno, but I was from the city of Fresno, so.
You could have gone cow tipping.
Well, it was. I lived in downtown Fresno for so long. The bad part of town.
Those cows wouldn't have been happy anymore.
No, the happy cows come. They stay and live in California.
Not if you tip them.
Maybe not. But no. But the premise was. I grew up in the bad part of town the first 10 years of my life, and then I grew up in a newly developed part of town the second half. Like it went from like
it's called a suburb.
Well, no, but yeah, it was like they built my house, my parents' house. They built. It was brand spanking new. It was track homes. There was not even a Target or anything really around that area. So it went from don't go outside to even if you want to go outside, there's nothing and nobody yet. Nobody your age, nobody around. So, and I didn't have a car. So, and they wouldn't drive me places.
Peter grew up in the suburbs, and we still like found like it's. If they just built the house, there's Monte somewhere. You just got to find it.
I'm just saying that.
Like right now, like where my sister lives, it's in the Monte. Like, I mean, it's in the suburbs. Right. But if I walk about 15 minutes in one direction, I found the Monte. Like, that's what you would do as a kid.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I have this burn on my back.
Oh, what?
I have this burn on my back from when I was a kid because I didn't like wearing a shirt. But I also like Batman backpacks, which were made of plastic backpacks.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I found the Monte.
This is no longer mental health the episode. This is now inner child the episode.
Inner child trauma.
No, man. Yeah. Oh, well, you guys already tapped into mine of nobody listening to me and shit. So I have a podcast. So all of you can listen to me. Like and subscribe. No, but that was how I dealt with mental health, was that I fucking didn't. And that's my premise of that beginning portion.
What's it?
Huh?
What's it?
Mental health. I never dealt with it. Because my thing was,
Is it wrong or mean to say that like you didn't have to deal with it because you weren't going through anything? Because your life was so sterilized in a way?
No. So you still go through your traumas and your fun, right? Your standard life stuff, right?
Yeah, but you didn't. No offense.
No, none taken.
But you didn't have friends. You didn't have girlfriends.
I didn't have local friends. Didn't have girlfriends. I did talk to girls and stuff.
And the only thing you did was stay at home with your family. Like, am I wrong? I'm just saying. I'm going off the picture you're painting.
Particularly growing up.
Yeah.
Like for a good chunk of like grade school, especially ages 0 through 10, was I had friends at school, but they never. I had one friend, Fabio, that lived a couple houses down. That was it. Everyone else, I saw them at school and rarely saw them outside.
But like when we threw out the Sing Countdown topic of like top 5 high school stories, you were like, can't do it. I don't have cool.
Yeah. Well, then high school, yeah, I had school with the football guys. Most of them would have been football stories. But then after like the season, they were all kind of lame. They're like different dudes. We didn't get along. I was a weird and kind of dorky kid, and I had my friends that I hung out with that didn't play football. But I didn't have the same classes of them because they were dumber or they weren't in AP classes. So like all of my friend groups I was friends with a lot of people, but not really solid with anybody. So that's how I operated. I was kind of not forgettable because if I would miss a day or two, people would be like, oh, where the fuck is that guy? But nobody was like, hey, you're the guy that needs to be here. So that's where that doesn't come in. But that's less about it, about the problem. The problem was that anything that I had going on, if I brought it to my parents, they wouldn't know how to handle it. They were older. They were boomers. So they my dad kind of understood, but barely. My mom didn't want to hear it and I wouldn't want to tell my mom because she's stressed out and make a big deal out of it. And then my siblings were too much older than me for them to understand. My brother was 6 years older than me, so having a brother that much older than you, not gonna really be able to relate too much. And he's kind of an introvert. He doesn't really talk about the stuff. He wasn't big on dating for different reasons. Just awkward, shy guy. My sisters weren't gonna talk to them about anything. They didn't care what I had to say. I was their little brother. So yeah, so you go, okay, well, I'm not gonna rock the boat. So you just hold it in, And then for some people that manifests like that. Hold it in. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it wasn't much. If you hold it in, it's gonna come out or it's gonna manifest, and then manifest. Like I said at the top of the show, anger. So having all of that, that's how I dealt with it. It was just like, all right, put it away, fucking swallow that shit, lock it away, and nobody gets to see it. And then it would just come out at random places, at random times, and be like, Sam, what the fuck, Sam? Why did you yell at that person? It was like nothing. And I'd be mad for like a whole 2 days.
I mean, you still do randomly get mad at people.
Right. And I'm still working on it, but less so than I used to, and less fiery. I used to get...
It's pretty fiery, but at least you're not, like, confronting the person that you're mad at.
I used to.
Yeah.
That was the difference. I'd get in people's faces, and I know, fucking softy, but my thing was, my dad taught me, like, if you lose a fight, that's fine. If you get your ass kicked, that's fine, but you're going to fight. And so I have that stupid thing. But I feel like I'm the only one that has issues at this point.
No, I mean everyone has issues. It's just the thing where you kind of like took the lead to talk about what's going on. But
let's put it.
Let me circle back to what it started the whole like everything and got us from that point to this point, which was coping mechanisms. And I'll talk about a couple of mine, kind of thing. We already talked about the gym. The gym is just a place where I get to vent being angry because I understand that there's a lot of things you can do in modern world. Like it's actually probably more accepted to cry like than it is to be angry.
Yeah, but as Mexican,
prove that.
Oh, shit. Right, but like going back to the main top of the show, being Mexican, you're told to suck it up your entire life, right?
You are told to suck it up, but I mean, I'm personalizing it a little bit more because that's what we're doing this show. But it's just there's no place where it's healthy to be angry and vent it outside of the gym. Like that's right. So that's where anger goes.
Right.
And that's my anger coping mechanism. And sad. And I know this is an unhealthy thing because I've had other therapists and people that go to therapy tell me that it's if you feel closer to people on movie screens than you do in real life, like that's bad.
Yeah.
Like and I meant in the sense that it's like when Wolverine dies in Wolverine, I cried, but like when my grandma died, I didn't cry.
That's weird. I'm the opposite. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when my grandma died, I don't get to be sad. On my I'm the joker in the family. It's my job to make sure everybody's spirits. Where my grandpa died, I did get to be sad, but I didn't have this role in the family type thing.
Right.
So it's all about like, that's my job to do in the moment. My job is to try to cheer up my mom as best as I can, while she's crying over her mom dying.
Right.
That's my job.
And that I had that too. That's a weird role to be in.
Yeah.
I assume you were a pallbearer, right?
Yeah.
For most of the things, if not like a bunch. I had a couple back to back to back. That's a weird fucking feeling. Where
It must suck for you to be the pallbearer.
What do you mean?
The fucking angle of the
yeah, it sucks. fucking everyone's like, my shoulder. But you can't drop grandma. That's like the biggest embarrassment of your life.
I mean, my grandma was only 5'4" or something.
My grandma's only 5'4", and all of us are big. But
so when you fill it with sawdust, it's like, oh, I'm just carrying 30 pounds.
Yeah, but hearses are heavy.
The
coffins are heavy. Hearses are heavy too. But coffins are heavy. No, but that's the thing, right? Is that you have to shut it off. So imagine that feeling of having to keep it off all the time. Like that's how I had it for a good chunk of my life until it's like I went to college. That's what I talk about when I go to college a lot.
Well, that's
then it unlocks, right?
I mean, I don't know about college. I mean, I've always had negative emotions that I had even in high school and even today. Like it's always there. It's just
it's always there, but talking about it's the way to fix a lot of it.
I mean, not to be like an emo kid, but it's like, why couldn't you just close your room and cry? Close the door to your room and cry. I've seen your room. Like, it looks pretty dark. It looks like a good cry room.
I lied to myself. I didn't recognize that I was even that sad. Or if I did, I wouldn't admit that it was that bad because, like you said, I had all the things I could ever want in life.
I mean,
I had the life that was sterile and clean and set up for my success.
But even then, like your life is your life. You can't. I know my life has been really hard at times. If I were to talk to someone, and I did, like in Afghanistan, it's like, oh, maybe not so bad.
Right. It's not so bad.
So you can't compare your pain and your grief to other people's pain and grief because it's still yours.
Right.
So even if it's just the pretty girl didn't talk to me today,
and that's all it was. No, but that's I understand that part now, which was like, it was all real pain. It was all real grief.
Yeah.
But then having no one to express that to. Brothers and siblings that were too old for them to be beyond. They were beyond teenager shit. They were trying to figure out their own lives. And
we're on the topic of coping mechanisms. It wasn't me talking to someone. I'm barely learning how to talk to someone at 30. Right. It was like, what's it called? On the topic of unhealthy coping mechanisms, it was just putting on sad music or a sad movie, and then just being like, when the right moment comes, it's like, and feel. That's not healthy, but that's what I used to do.
Like, so, and that's what you used to do during that time. You just that was the only way that you were able to let it out. Is that why you're into music so much?
I mean,
I feel like the people that do express it that way fucking love music and they just fucking eat it and absorb it. I'm not a music guy like that. That doesn't help me. But for you,
it's music is the soundtrack to everything. So this is going to be a weird diatribe, but it's like whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, horniness, whatever like emotion you can feel, there's a song for it. Like, and that's a different topic than this. Right. It's just a matter that, because honestly, music was very important for me in high school, but when I say this was a coping mechanism, that's up to like 5 years ago, bro. Right. And then it's still a thing where it's like, it was easier to be sad at like things like here's a weird thing that I cried at. What's the movie with dogs? Isle of Dogs.
Movie with dog, yeah.
Isle of Dogs. There's a part, and it just randomly happens. Like in the middle of the movie, one of the dogs gets given a treat, and then the dog starts crying. It's like, this is the first time I've ever gotten a treat, ever been given this kind of affection. And then I was just like, oh man, like that was really sweet, and tear. Like it happens. Yeah. But it's just the person that I knew that did this, that I think I ended up copying it from it, had the most unhealthy household that I've ever heard of in her life. Like her dad was a drug dealer, in and out of prison. And her mom would always say really sarcastic things, like if she came home with honor roll or something like that, like, "Hey mom, all A's on my report card today." Well, that's the least you can do.
Jesus Christ, people.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Stop being parents if you don't want to be. It's cool. You don't have to have kids.
She was one of 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know. Well, you know what? I think now would be a good time to take a quick commercial break, and we could talk about what we do now. Because I think what we do now versus what... And with that kind of solid base of, like, you've punched your way to Revelation, and you, like, I don't... Like, that was the thing. I think it snuck up on you, I feel. But we'll talk about it, like, on how we feel a little bit later. Let's do some quick commercial breaks. I'm going to refresh my water, and we'll be right back. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, stay tuned. Hey, everybody, it's me. Yeah, that's right. I took a dramatic pause. Welcome to the Manscaped ad. Did you know that over 4 million people have taken advantage and have enjoyed Manscaped's delightful products and shaving materials? I know I have. They gifted us so many different things, like the Lawnmower 4.0 and the Weed Whacker. Those things you've already heard about so many times on this podcast, but they gave us something else, guys. I'm going to look it up on the website because I think it's worth knowing that if you go to manscaped.com, and you use coupon code MEX20, you can get 20% off and free shipping on everything in the store. And the reason why I'm looking at my monitor right now is so that I can pull up the Ultra Premium collection, which they've also given us ever so generously. I've already used the body wash. I haven't used the shampoo because I don't have hair, but I'm going to try it on my beard pretty quickly here. I have tried the hydrating body spray, and I want you to look at all these other things. We also have the deodorant. We have the lip balm. I have the lip balm, and I actually do use that pretty regularly. It's the only thing that's not scented with their special scent that they have. This is a little more minty, which I enjoy very, very much. But you know what? You can get all of this. Like I said, 20% off. And you know what that does? I'm gonna swing it to you, JJ, because you're over there while we're doing the ad. Yeah, you're not paying attention. You're not a part of this ad. You go back to texting.
I'm texting Alfred.
Awesome. Well, you know what? You know what Alfred needs?
I hate him.
You know what Alfred needs?
Manscaped.
He needs some goddamn Manscaped, all right? But you know what? If he uses coupon code MEX20, he'd have it. And he'd also get some other things like the crop preserver. There's like all the things that they've gifted us. And this is not even all the things that I've used. Half the other things that they've gifted us as well. As in, like, I used all of it. I used all of it, but I used all of the other ones. So if you ever want to keep yourself fresh, you want to make sure that you're smelling nice and clean, you ever want to make sure that your hairline's nice and good on your body, it's almost summer, fellas and folks. It's spring. Sprung up on us pretty quickly. The time's changed and everything. So that means summer's next, baby. Be ready for summer. Get those reps in. Get yourself nice and clean. Go to manscaped.com and use coupon code MEX20. Get yourself smelling good and nice and right. And just remember, as always, your balls will do what, JJ?
They'll thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, they will. And I'll thank you for using coupon code MEX20 at manscaped.com. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back after these other messages. And then we'll finish the show. And then you'll listen to the other shows in post-production. And then you'll like and subscribe and donate and do all those things. Okay, bye. I need my movies to come with musical video tie-ins, like the 90s.
I mean, why are you hating on Endgame? I don't know what point you're trying to make here.
Endgame?
Yeah, there's no bops in Endgame. I don't know what.
It needed a bop. Imagine if there was like, who was popular in 17, 19, 18?
Star-Lord?
Whatever. No, well, Star-Lord, his bops were stupid. Those were stupid bops.
Why?
Star-Lord's bops were stupid.
He's the only one with style. I'm sorry. Like, Captain America and Tony Stark are not going to dance.
No, I don't want them. I want them to dance in the music video that's made for the movie. They don't need to dance in the movie. Like the Men in Black theme, that was tight. Yeah, Will Smith sang it. That was a nice thing.
I'm pretty sure Will Smith danced in at least one transition. I would need to rewatch that movie.
But what I'm saying is you could have got, like, I don't know, maybe, like, not Adele. She wouldn't have done it. Who's like a popular pop singer? You could have got One Direction to do the tie-in movie for Endgame. Come on, man.
You want
Harry Styles? Absolutely, baby.
no.
Give me Harry Styles doing the musical theme song.
I think at that point it would have been easier. It would have been easier to get Ed Sheeran.
You're onto something. I want music tie-ins. That's what I want. I want Wild Wild West. I want Men in Black. I want
It'll never happen again.
Hero from Chad Kroeger featuring Josie Scott for Spider-Man. How come Spider-Man didn't have Chad Kroeger?
Man, I'm really surprised actually on that note that Marvel was just like no songs.
Right.
Like for Spider-Man at least. I was like
I'm surprised that they didn't play Hero when Tobey Maguire got portaled in. That would have been fucking amazing. I should probably go edit that for YouTube right now. But anyway.
They get 1 million hits.
And just call it extended cut or whatever. And, and they say that a hero can save us.
If you edit like Andrew Garfield coming into Vindicated.
Oh my God. I was like, what? Oh, yeah.
What, the best comic book movie of all time according to IMDb?
2? Wait, which one?
Spider-Man 2. I don't know if it still is, honestly.
It's not. Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other Spider-Man 2. I thought you were talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Not that one, no.
That one sucked to balls.
I never saw it.
I don't like movies. Like, I
know
like
you don't
all
like
movies.
Yeah.
I'll watch a movie and be like, that was a movie. I accept that. There's only 4 movies that I hated right off the bat. Both Fantastic Four movies, Amazing Spider-Man, and Starving Games. I watched Starving Games and didn't feel anything.
I feel like if you saw more of the Starving Games type movies, that list would be longer because there's a lot of those movies.
But no, I'm never going to because
like after was it Scary Movie 3? Like they just every year.
Oh, I know, but I somebody had it on and I said I've never seen one of these movies. Let's see if there's anything worth a damn, and there just wasn't. And I hated every bit of it. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about our last portion, which is, we talked about mental health, talked about why we're the way we are. But what do you do now that like makes it better? That makes life better? Because here's the thing. For people watching this probably are like mental health and I'm Mexican. Yeah, shit's crazy because we all feel different things.
We actually didn't even get into the Mexican aspect of like parents not understanding mental health, parents being too proud to take kids to.
That was implied on my end. Me implying that
you don't say it in black and white. It doesn't count.
Fair enough.
But
the idea was that they didn't know how to handle it because they were just like fucking toughen up or figure it out.
Just throw him in the closet. He'll be fine.
Not a. That's another allegory, but no.
I was left outside once.
I kind of want the context of that. I don't necessarily need the context. Kind of want it though.
I don't remember what I did to piss off my dad, but yeah, like. We were driving back from Mexico and it was late and he was like, nah, tonight you're going to sleep like in the car or outside, but you're not coming in the house. Okay.
That was one of JJ's many punishments that did absolutely nothing to faze him whatsoever. No,
I mean, eventually they brought me in, right?
Okay. I thought you just committed to the bit. I thought you were like, fuck it, I guess.
I did. I went to sleep in the car. I was asleep.
I was asleep. They woke my ass. I was having a good time. No, but like that's the implication, right? That's why we do these, I like to call them grandfather episodes because they'll eventually have children that will be able to branch off to. But yeah, when I said that I couldn't talk to my parents about something, that is, I assume, judging by TikTok standards, is universally understood because they don't get it. They were either too older or just a different generation that didn't quite get it. Mm-hmm. So inherently we're left to our own devices once we move out to figure out what that is, because at a certain point, like you said, being angry in public doesn't do shit for you. You look like a crazy person all the time.
When I was saying it, I was like, there has to be healthy places, and then like modern society doesn't let you be angry anywhere, so there's only like a handful of places that you can be angry and it's okay, and all of them are really weird places. Like the gym is okay. You actually don't get mad when you do martial arts, because if you do, you're just gonna get this shit like kicked
out of you.
Yeah. So I would say a gun range is another place.
That's scary though. I don't want you to be angry at the gun range.
It's a way to vent everything. If you're musically talented, playing a guitar like is a way to vent like the energy. I don't have that.
And you know what? To actually tie it into the main point, I also never wanted to be the angry Mexican. Like I mentioned at the top of the show. That's a huge reason why I don't I'm not angry. Like, you know me, with you guys, I'm an angry person. But if like my order's wrong, I'll never get upset, really, because I'm whatever. I'll just eat it because I don't want this Mexican's going off again.
Oh, I've never been that person just because it's like I worked in the food industry and it's like, oh, I know what it's like to fuck up.
Right.
But
I have people don't have that, right?
I have one more healthy place where you can be angry, and just because I think it's funny. And this is something that I actually learned from JJ's favorite movie, go-karts. It's really cool to be angry and then like vent it through a golf cart.
What are you, Jesse Pinkman? What's his name from Breaking Bad? Pinkman.
No, it's from Clerks 2.
Clerks 2?
Yeah. Explain.
I've never seen Clerks. I haven't seen Clerks 1.
In Clerks 2, so the premise or the setup to the go-kart scene is that Randall and Dante, the titular clerks, have always just been clerks, right? Like they worked at the convenience store until that burned down. Okay. Now they're in their 30s or 40s and they're working at McDonald's or movies.
Right.
And a guy that they knew from high school comes in and he's a big success now. He's a Facebook billionaire.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and he just starts talking down on them. And Randall's the kind of guy that doesn't really let anyone get to him, and he can dish it out as good as he can take it.
That Jay or Silent Bob?
That's Randall.
Neither of them are Jay.
Okay. Different guys. Okay, I'm thinking, all right.
But this guy got to him, and he's just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, Dante, come with me. We're going to ride fucking go-karts.
Okay.
And the go-karts just center him.
I'm too big for go-karts. I can't. That's not one place I can be.
I know that's not one place you can. Maybe you can do Coda because those go 55 miles per hour, and so they're bigger. But
Coda.
Circuit of the Americas.
We should do that. I know it's expensive, but
It's only 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's do it. Anyway.
But no, the idea is that you can. Driving fast helps, but it's just there's not a lot of places that you can drive. Like if you drive fast, you're gonna get a ticket,
right? Or die.
Yeah,
that's always my thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fucking die.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm just too tall for most safety regulations, so they might miscue.
And then if you want to do it legally, like let me set up a whole fucking race. Like it takes like forever. Yeah,
this is the Fast and the Furious. We're not gonna do that shit.
Well, there's legal places that drag strip, like Code of the Americas. You can actually
that shit's expensive as fuck. Yeah,
but. When I was in the Army, I used to be really angry. Like Clerks 2 had been out like for a while, and I just tried it once, and it helped. Like it really did.
Right. And like the one place that I found,
batting cages helped too.
Similar hitting things.
Yeah.
The boxing gym. Boxing gyms up until recently they just got so fucking expensive, and COVID too. I didn't want to go anywhere because of COVID, just because people breathing on each other. But like. I've done boxing training kind of several months at a time, just periodically in my life. That shit fucking slaps. I love that shit because it's cardio, It's upright cardio. You're fucking on treadmills and walking and jump rope and kind of jumping in place. But just hitting a speed bag or a heavy bag is so much fun for me. And like you said, outside of football in high school, where you're able to just fucking tackle people, I didn't like football. But it did help me relieve a lot of those jimmies I had. I just that's why I was hidden for so long, because I had played football from before puberty till after I was done with it. So when I didn't have it anymore, I was like, oh, I got to get rid of this somehow, and had no real means to do it. And so I was like, okay,
you should play it for the Fresno rugby team.
I feel like I would break my collarbone. That's what I fear about rugby, is I would just break my collarbone.
Why would you break your collarbone?
How wouldn't you break your collarbone? That's all they do.
High tackling is illegal in rugby.
I'm all high tackle. Actually, I'm all low, so I might feel like my femur would snap because I'm
also,
all top
Paco
heavy.
broke his collarbone. You'd be fine.
I don't want to break my collarbone.
He was fine. Look at him now.
I don't want to. I've seen Paco. I don't want to look at him now. Yeah, that's right. It's insult to you. No, but boxing is like really works. Actually, like therapy helps. Therapy's hit a wall though, because I think my therapist agrees with me too much. I'm making too much sense to her. So I'm like, I need someone who's gonna be like, no, you're full of shit. Which, you know,
I mean, hey, we can do that.
No, you guys do it. I don't believe you guys though. You guys aren't accredited to say that. Everyone could say I'm full of shit, but I'm always gonna think I'm right. At least with that lady, it's like, oh yeah, she read a book to tell me that I'm much like a lot of other people.
I mean, we've both read more books than you.
No, but she read the right books.
I mean,
Which ones are the right books?
The ones about therapy, and she has a degree and shit.
I can get one of those.
I have a degree.
What is your degree in? I never actually knew.
Public relations and advertising.
That has nothing to do with therapy.
I mean, yeah, I am therapizing people to buy my shit.
What? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And quite frankly, you, as a friend, to poor effect, haven't been able to sell me on me. So
Sell
that
you
is-
on you?
Yeah.
What do you mean sell you on
You're
you?
supposed to make me love me by tricking me into thinking I'm a product that should love himself.
That's not what friends do.
That's exactly what I need you to do that. Right? Fucking I'll hire you as a consultant. I don't give a shit.
That's what Tommy does.
Tommy just like, I don't know. Tommy's a different cat when it comes to mental health because he swings between like nothing matters and man, I finally unlocked this deep dark secret in me because you made me go to therapy, which is why I wanted him here because like I made him go to therapy and he's like, oh yeah, there was a lot of issues in there. I don't know if I want to go back there again. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucking scary to find your demons or not even demons, not. Let's see here. It's actually normal to hit a wall with therapy and switch therapists after a few years. Yeah, I think I'm at the breakup stage of my therapist. This was Season of the Witch.
Oh, damn.
The Witch. 2 V's. No, that's actually true. You're supposed to cycle them out. I think I've hit.
I didn't know that, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're supposed to.
My hometown has 2 therapists. I just found that out.
You got about 5 to 6 years of therapy before you run out of all the therapy in your hometown.
Not sure if this is a good or a bad thing, but one of them's a porn star. Was a porn star.
Wait, is or was?
Was.
I'm about to say. That doesn't help. If she was hot or
It's
he
a he.
was hot.
It's a he.
If he was hot and I was into that, I'd be like, I'm gonna look him up.
I mean, he was hot when he was a porn star, but
Oh, now he's but still, these.
I mean, he's like 35 now. They don't.
Wait,
you don't
stop being hot at 35?
You don't hire 35-year-old porn stars most of the time, unless I mean, I don't.
Ron Jeremy still got his later in his career.
You mean jail time?
Is he a sex pervert? Oh. Not that I was rooting for him or anything. I just was like, oh, I thought he was better than that for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know why you would think that.
I don't know why I would either. JJ, do you have any mental health tips that you do? Things that you keep to keep yourself from punching people in the face?
Same thing I do with medical issues. Just ignore them and drink heavily until eventually they go away.
That doesn't help, JJ. It doesn't help any. That's the pre. You need to find healthy habits.
That is my healthy habit. Give me one of those.
That is JJ. You're the reason why you have no solution is because you're in the pre still. You need to get to the second part of the question, which is how you deal with it in a way that isn't going to explode your kidneys.
It explodes your liver.
Yeah. And a doctor prescribed it, so it's fine.
He's not a doctor. He just handed it to you.
He wasn't the one that prescribed it.
Yeah,
Who prescribed it?
Me. I'm a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
Says who? You? You don't know anything about me.
I've been to your house. There's no degree up there.
No, I don't show shit off.
I don't believe
You have a film degree. We won't see that.
it's at my parents' house.
I don't even see like a smoke detector here.
That's because it's too tall. All right, JJ. And besides, I don't need it. If my shit catches fire, I got insurance. It's fine.
I don't know.
I don't know if you have enough of an inventory. Honestly,
I thought about that today.
There's a computer right there on the floor. Like,
It's only $120. It's fine.
that's not how insurance works.
Work paid for half of it. It was fine.
3.
I have like 12 computers. It's fine. You have one of my computers. That's how many computers I have. But anyway, so JJ, booze is your thing.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it is. I do enjoy beer.
Well, yeah, that's not the sole thing I should say. Enjoying a nice beverage. I've never seen you, other than the time you slapped me, I've never seen you drink to excess, really. And that's been at least 4 years of me knowing you solid. So, but other things I could say, maybe. You could recommend, perhaps.
I don't know. I just like to keep not busy. Busy's not the right word, but I always like to learn and discover new things.
Right.
Like exercise is something that does help, and I do enjoy walking a lot. I've always just liked being in nature, hence why I have that burn on my back from the back man.
Oh.
Back
the pleather burn.
Yeah. So I do like, going on walks and just like exploring the park that's nearby. Like just the other day, I found out there's another faster route from my apartment to that park.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was just taking like the straight line direct route.
Right.
But that's actually like half a mile longer. If I go through that little nice neighborhood, it's shorter and it's still actually the same amount of steps because it's mostly curved.
Oh. I used to have to go to work up a freeway overpass, and then I had to, since the sidewalk went all the way down and then around, there was a chain link fence that just had a hole cut through it, and I would just jump in and then like slide down this hobo hole. It was very cool. That's how I lived. I wish I did more of that. I need to get out in nature more, because you said, wait, were you the one that wanted to set up hikes? Because you like hikes too, Marcos?
I was going to set up hikes. I've been trying to pull the trigger on when to set up basketball.
I've been thinking about that too, and I wonder if my knees will explode because I haven't used them in like 2 years.
Nah, dude, 2-on-2, me, you, JJ, and Tommy. Bro. Like we're not moving very fast.
but one, I'm also very competitive, and two,
I'm not
I saw
even
a clip.
making shots, bro.
No, but I'm very competitive, and two, I just saw a video of Tom Segura blowing out both his like knee and his arm at the same time.
When he on his back.
Yeah. He like so he was like, watch me dunk. He jumped, tore his MCL. Fell immediately, tried to like put his weight on his arm, like broke his like forearm.
Yeah, he fucked himself up.
I won.
Like in one fell, like he ended up like with his arm backwards, like a Family Guy sketch. It was awful.
I 100% guarantee you will not hear me say, "Hey, watch me dunk." I 100% guarantee that.
I might.
I'm not trying.
That's why your knees will be fucked.
No, but
yeah, and keeping an open mind. I've always just been good at keeping an open mind. And
yeah, that was what I was gonna ask. It's like it's less about what you do, but it's just maybe approaches to shit, man. Because yeah, I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting, but yeah.
But no, yeah, I like. I've always sort of had the mentality of like, don't knock it till you tried it, like, and so while I haven't done a whole lot of stuff. Like I said, it's not like I'm snorting coke and like shooting heroin. There's some things that I'm like, yeah, and you know what? I'm cool.
Yeah.
I think I can knock that one without trying it.
Right.
But yeah, for like other things, like just activities or games and stuff. Like I famously did not like WoW in high school, but I never played it. Now I played it. I still don't like it.
Right. You made a good assessment, is what you're saying.
But I went into it with an open mind, and it's like, still not for me. Okay.
So, but understanding what you like and what is good for you, because a lot of people cause themselves a lot of undue stress getting into shit that they know that's going to cause them stress, or making bad decisions on purpose.
So,
know your limits too. That's also something else that really helps.
Go ahead. Yes.
we don't know. You don't know your limits because you don't try most of the time.
I also it's infinite loop. I don't know my limits because I don't try, and also don't know my limits because the things I do try and I know that I'm good at, I don't stop. So,
what do you think that you're good at?
This.
You stop all the time. We have 2 a week.
No, but I'm talking about like I can't stop permanently.
Okay.
Like the compulsion's there. Like if I even when like I don't get something out for too long, we go a couple days, I feel like shit the whole time. Which is another thing about mental health, is being too fucking hard on yourself, which we can get into that in the next episode. Like I said, we're rotating these out. I think we're due for another children podcast, though, for one of the topics we've had. Maybe movies again or something. We're due for it.
We just did a nostalgia one. But anyway, what I was going to say when it comes to how to deal with it today, and this is really hard. Like, I don't fault people for thinking, because I when I say this sentence, it sounds really easy, but it's really hard. Because I've been around really toxic people, and then you think they're fine, but they're not.
Yep.
And it's just having good people in your life and knowing that it's okay to ask for help. And then it's...
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Well, I want to maybe emphasize, at least with the Mexicano portion of that, is asking for help. Having good people around, that helps. It's not always the case in certain situations, but being able to ask for help is huge.
I mean, it's... There's so many things that I can go through in the future that's like it'd be harder to go through if I didn't have friends to lean on. But it's taken a long time to get to this point.
Right.
And there are a lot of people out there that think they have good friends and leave them high and dry. Yeah, I mean, even sometimes I fail, and I feel like I'm not the best friend in the world. But
yeah, we fucking hate you, Marcos. I want you to keep that in your mind and loop it forever.
I've not done that anything bad.
I want you to think about it and before you go to bed every night and loop it until you fall asleep, and then wake up as the last thought of your start of your day, and then it just vanishes.
I promise I can think of all the bad things I've done to you and sleep like a baby.
Yeah, it's probably like less than a handful of things, honestly. I was like, I even tried to think about things I did bad to you. I was like, nah, I'm pretty solid.
Yeah, no.
We're all pretty solid together, which is why we're able to have this podcast.
They might even lull him to sleep.
I slapped him a couple times during the Oscar show. Not that bad.
Yeah, but that's how your brother would give me a 6-pack.
No, yeah, and he didn't even see it. I put it on Twitter. Someone on Twitter, or my sister on Twitter, was like, "Nobody hit my brother," and then I was like, "They hit your brother." And my cousin was texting me, and moments later was like, "I didn't see it." So you owe us $100.
My brother screen capped them.
The hits.
Yeah, he wants to make them into memes.
I'll take my mental health is gonna be great after that. And my slaps are memes.
I mean, you just look like this. You're fine. No one knows it's you.
There is one where like your head is down, so you can't even see your face.
And it's just arms slapping me. Is that what it is? Well, you know what? The Mexcellence needs all the content we can get, and so until then, though, this one's quicker. This one was not meant to be like a super deep dive. This was kind of set the tone. That's the thing. A lot of our other shows, you're never gonna know who the fuck we are, and in this case, JJ, we still barely know who you are. But in this case,
They know I'm an agent of chaos that will punch.
No kidding. Everyone knows he's a fucking wild card. And watch out for him. Don't turn your back on him. No, but it gives us an idea, people the idea of like who we are as a people versus just characters. Sometimes we only get to talk about nonsense or thinking like sports movies and shit like that. That is external, but talking about the internal stuff is how people will eventually be able to relate to us. I hope a little bit deeper by bearing our souls just a little bit. So thank you for watching O Menos Mexicanos. If you have any other topics that you want us to talk about in regards to like just like Mexican culture or something in relation to Mexican culture, we've done a couple episodes. We have more in the lineup. We're gonna throw this one into the rotation a little bit more often, maybe. Well, we've been at one once a month. I
think we should hit it twice a month.
Then we'll make a plan for that. April, we got more big stuff coming. Of course, I actually have a new calendar.
Oh man, this barely counts as last month.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
we can double down.
I was about to say, if we do another one next week, it's not next month. It's not 2 a month.
It's not 2 a month. So there you go. No, by the time most people
hear
this,
one we did?
though, it's going
Is
to
it
be
anime?
April.
Was it?
No, you did
No.
sports. It's Tommy's, then sports, then...
No, the last
Mas
Mas
o
Menos.
Oh, it was anime. Yeah.
That was in December.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't anime. It was representation in movies.
Oh, that's right.
You're right. And so, if you have an idea for what we should talk about next, talk about movies, talk about music, we talked about anime, and we have a new Anime Excellence show. So that one actually is its own spin-off. Secondly, instead of having a grandfather episode, it just spun off into its own episode because we had so much to talk about. So let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you like. And please like, subscribe, do all the things that you need to do. Rate us 5 stars on all the podcast apps that you see us on. And be sure to tell your friends. That's the thing. We need to grow a little bit faster to see some of the rewards that we want to see and be able to give you guys the monies and gifts that we want to give you all. So be sure to do all of those things. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Say bye to the people, guys, over there.
Bye to
Adios.
people, guys,
And I'm going
over
to say
there.
bye to the peoples over here. Bye, everybody, in the thing. And then I turn the music back on very slowly. And then I slowly fade the music back out. Jesus Christ, I can hear that. What?